The Pan-African Parliament is currently in its fourth ordinary session of the fifth Parliament in Midrand, north of Johannesburg. Earlier in the week, Ghana's President Nana Kufo-Ado was the guest speaker at the opening session, calling for the PAP to be strengthened into a legislative authority. Well, this week, the Pan-African Parliament is expected to vote in new leadership, and this will likely be an agenda item for its new president. I caught up with one of the presidential candidates, Ambassador Albino Aboug, and he shared his thoughts about what needs to be done at the PAP. So you're putting your name forward as a candidate for the Pan-African Parliament presidency. Why?
Well, every human being have an opportunity in life to put forward what he can contribute in life. At the end, we are temporarily in this world, and you can be a part of the team. You can change the life of the others, and therefore, I do believe I have some ideas to contribute. I have some ideas to change the life of the others. I was helped, and I need to help the other people.
What sort of things would you like to change at the Pan-African Parliament? It's an organization that's 19 years old, and it certainly has had its challenges over time. What do you see that you would like to bring to the PAP through your presidency?
I have several of them. First, I would like to create the relationship between the Pan-African Parliament and the government of South Africa as the host nations. I would like also to create the relationship between us and the AUC Commission, create the relationship between the international community and the continent of Africa, connect us with the people of Africa, especially the youth who are crossing all around the world to a different nation looking for a better life. Our continent is a beautiful continent. We can utilize it for the benefit of our people.
One of the things that a lot of people complain about is that the continent is very young, and yet the leaders are quite old. Is youth something that's important to you in your presidency?
Well, simply, what I can say, it depends on the individual. You can be old and you can contribute precisely based on your ability. You can be young, you can do things negatively or positively. What I can say, people are saying now I'm young, why I decided to run at this particular time. Well, if I can't run now and I'm seeing there are a lot of mistakes going on, who is going to change it if we are not a part of it? So it is a time for us to change the equation in this continent.
It's no secret that the Pan-African Parliament has been quite divided over the years. Sometimes regional issues come up, particularly regarding language. How are you going to change if you are elected president? How are you going to bring the Pan-African Parliament together?
I don't have a problem of the language. First of all, my part of my family are from West Africa. I was a special envoy of the African Union to Central African Republic. I have lived in Kenya. I have lived here in South Africa. I can go anywhere all around this continent. If none other than people of color come together and meet me and you, will they know whether you are from South Africa or whether I'm from South Sudan? We are one people. So this division is created.
I guess the question I'm asking is, how can somebody bring the Pan-African Parliament together as one? Because it is clear that over the years, there've been quite a lot of division.
I am the candidate of the unity. You can see yesterday when I was trying to be blocked by those who do not want to give a chance for the young people, the parliament, who have fought for me. The French is speaking, the Arabic is speaking, and the English is speaking. So it's shown the unity. It wasn't about the issue of the language, whether you speak Portuguese or you speak Spanish or Arabic or the other language. We have been divided in this nation. I will say it very clearly. Do not vote for me because I'm a Muslim or a Christian or I believe in what you do not believe. Vote for me because we share the ideas and we can actually build our continent together.
Today is Africa Day. How important is this day for our continent and for an institution such as the Pan-African Parliament?
Well, it's supposed to be a wonderful day for the African Day, but this pandemic and coronavirus, which has actually caused life of many people in this continent, I do believe we actually used to do more to save the life of our young people and our young continent. We do need to do more than what we are doing now in the north, south, east, west, and central.
Funding for the Pan-African Parliament has been a big challenge again over the years. Very few countries able to contribute, South Africa being one that really has done more than its fair share. How are you going to manage the issue of funding? Because the more you get funding from beyond our continent, the more beholden the continent is, and our independence becomes a little bit more challenged.
We don't need to be held by others' continent. We have what it takes to actually utilize our resources, what we have in this continent. Our GDP in this continent is about $2 trillion. Even though what we have just only in Congo can be an equivalent to $10 trillion. So we don't need other people to come and help us. We need to sit down as an African people, share the ideas and say, if you are wrong here, please change this. Let us follow the institution and constitution, and then we will get it right in this country.
Why do you think that countries haven't been contributing as they ought to then, if we have all these resources available? Do you think that they don't think the Pan-African Parliament is important enough to prioritize?
You have to have the right leadership for the people to trust in you. And if the perception of the Pan-African Parliament, the way it is, nobody can trust it. Nobody can trust them. And therefore, you need the right leadership, which can be trusted, can be given a chance and say, we have changed things, we are now in a better position, and we are moving into the right direction.
What do you think it's going to take to get citizens to feel as if the Pan-African Parliament belongs to them? I would say that a lot of citizens don't even know what you do and don't realize that you represent them. How does the Pan-African Parliament become more a parliament of the people of Africa and not just the politicians that have been nominated by their countries?
Absolutely, as a member of the National Assembly of South Sudan, it is my duty to be very honest to my people in South Sudan. It is my duty to be very honest to the people of the continent. It is my duty to let people know where are we going and which direction are we taking. You are absolutely right. Nobody knows. It is about corruption. It is about bad image. It is about rumors going on within the Pan-African Parliament. Even those who live in Midrand do not know the Pan-African Parliament. So we need, if elected after tomorrow, I've just won my election in my region, in the Eastern Caucasus. If I will be elected on date 27 by the grace of God, my first announcement will be to involve the youth and the women, open the office in every region around the continent. Let the people get involved. The idea of forming the Organization of African Unity was simple and straightforward by our founding father, Julius Nyerere from Tanzania, Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana, Ahmed bin Bala from Algeria, and others like Jamal Abdel Nasser. It was simple and straightforward. But now the head of the state are not doing their fair. We, as a member of the parliament, are not doing well as we're supposed to be. The chair of the AU have given the responsibility to PRC to follow. Therefore, we are confused. We need a new direction in this continent to move our continent in a much better direction.
But how do you get people to go in this new direction? It's one thing to have plans and ideas. How do you motivate people to go along with you?
It is simple. The ANC was not created by a million of people. It was actually created by 2 or 3. But today, you can see there are so many million of people who are following the ANC. EFF, for example, which is run by Julius Malema, was about 2 to 3 people. But today, you have more than 300 or 400,000. So the idea can come from a one person, but it can emerge to a million of people.
So the Pan-African Parliament, 19 years on, what do you think the Pan-African Parliament should be doing in the future? I know one of the issues is giving it more powers, more legislative powers to be able to do things, particularly things like pass laws. Is that something that you're going to try and champion if you become president?
Absolutely. That is one on my agenda, and it is on the table. And I have said it very clearly. If I don't get the half of what is needed to pass the ratification of the Pan-African Parliament in the next 2 years, I will resign. If the president of Rwanda can do it within a year to actually bring the integration of the business and trade within the continent, why are we not doing it?
A little bit earlier on, you talked about mending relations with the AU Commission, the PRC. How are you going to do that? And what do you think went wrong in the first instance?
It is simple. We have a very bad image. We have a very bad image due to the corruption within the institution. But this corruption and others allegations are being made by the individual, not the institution. So you need the Secretary General and others to be firm, and the president who will say, these are the rules, and if you don't follow the rule, you have to face the reality.
The people that you're saying are suspected of some kind of corruption, are you going to make sure that these people are brought to book and full accounting is done to clean house?
We have to investigate what went wrong. You can't bring anybody into book because that has to do with the rule of law. And we are a diplomatic institution. We are actually guided by the rule of law under the African Union. Therefore, we have to involve everyone before you have to know what is going on.
But you do believe that there has been some corruption over the years?
There are some allegations which I know have given the bad image. We have to look deep whether all these allegations are true or not true. But that has caused us a very bad image to the Pan-African Parliament, to the member who are actually the member of the Pan-African Parliament representing the continent.